The Peter Bag, a Marvel fanfiction written on AO3 by Call_me_Coley. The link for this fanfiction will be in the description box below, so I encourage you all to go check it out. Thank you so much for having him over this weekend, Tony, May called out from her own bedroom as he finished packing. It's no trouble, May, honestly. I enjoy his company and I get free labor out of him, so it's a win-win. Tony called back from where he stood leaning against the couch, watching his enthusiasm as May flitted from one room to the next in a hurry. Are you sure you won't let me drive you to the airport? He offered once more, hoping to alleviate some of the flustered energy she was exuding. No, it's fine. Pete will be back from school in a few minutes anyway. He's so looking forward to this weekend. May grabbed her scarf from the hall closet before dashing back to her room for her bags. Tony smiled, thinking about the weekend to come as well. Not counting the late-night lab sessions or the last-minute stayovers after Bat Patrol, this would be Peter's first full weekend at the tower. It was fair to say that Tony was slightly nervous, but his excitement was getting so much time with the kid quickly outweighed it. May came to a stop in the living room with a strong huff as she caught her breath. Okay, I think I've got everything, and I'm only 30 minutes behind schedule, so not too bad. Not bad at all, Tony smirked. Plane tickets, carry-on, snacks, May mumbled to herself one last time. Oh my god, I almost forgot the Peter bag. Tony's eyebrows raised. The what now? May turned and quickly hurried into the bedroom, not bothering with a reply. Tony heard a cabinet door closing and opening before May was in front of him again, thrusting a heavy bag into his arms. Everything's in there. The instructions are all written up and Peter is more than familiar with it all. If you have any questions, just call. Okay, thanks, bye. Tony blinked and looked up from the bag, only to see May closing the door behind as she left. Alrighty then, Tony said to no one. After a minute of standing in the middle of an empty living room, Tony walked around to the couch and sat on it, pulling out the so-called Peter bag on the table in front of him. He knew he had several minutes before the kid got home, and was curious by nature, and so without further ado, he unzipped the bag. To his mild surprise, he pulled out multiple prescription bottles, a couple of inhalers, bent glasses, an EpiPen, and heck, even a nebulizer in the shape of a frog was included. With everything laid out on the table, it took Tony a minute to realize all the stuff was for Peter before the bite. Tony's chest twinged in sympathy for the kid that used to need all the stuff, not to mention for Ben and May having to see Peter in a lot of pain or not being able to breathe. Before Tony could really work himself up, imagining worst-case scenarios, the apartment door swung open, followed by an energetic teenager with a huge smile on his face. Oh, hey Mr. Stark, did May make it off okay? I told her she should pack her stuff earlier, but you know how she is. Hey, why does your face look like that? And what's the... Oh. Peter stopped in his tracks as he took in his mentor's concerned or curious or was it calculating expression? Then all the objects on the table caught his eye, and that seemed to answer some of his questions. Why do you have all that old stuff for? Peter asked as he moved forward again, not even taking his backpack off. May wanted to make sure you'd have everything for our weekend. Tony finally spoke up. Peter reached forward, looking through his old medicine bag that used to be attached to him practically every time he left the house. Camp, sleepovers, any kind of trip. It was always Peter's job to make sure the Peter bag with him, while his aunt and uncle took care of everything else. It seems crazy, but I actually forgot some of this stuff, Peter said, mostly to himself as he reached for his old nebulizer, holding the mask up and smiling at it, with his goofy eye goggles on it. Tony's stomach twisted a bit, envisioning young Peter with dorky glasses and an inhaler, having to decorate a medicine bag or nebulizer with stickers since he used them so often. He hated thinking about the kid needing so many hospital visits, medicines, and everything else because he was so prone to being sick. For the first time ever, Tony was grateful that the spider bit Peter. You're making that weird face again. Peter interrupted his thoughts once more, a small grin lighting up his face. You mean my normal, beautiful, and handsome face? 'Cause then you'd be right. Tony easily retorted, comforted by the easy slip into banter. Right, whatever you say, Mr. Stark. I'm just gonna grab my bag and be ready to go, okay? Sounds good, kid. Peter jumped up from the couch and made his way to the living room, leaving Tony alone once again. It only took a minute to put everything in the Peter bag, and by the time Peter returned with his overnight duffel. Got everything? Yep, and even if I forgot, you'd always have what I need. Of course I do. What kind of billionaire would I be if I didn't? Tony teased back, ushering the kid into the hallway. Tony turned back to lock the door, and paused for a moment, even though Peter continued down the hall chatting away. It didn't even take a second thought before Tony was walking back to the apartment and grabbing the Peter bag. Just to be safe, you know?